welcome to the Legends of Equestria panel. We are a 3D MMORPG. Keep it closer to my mouth, right? All right. So we're gonna go ahead and introduce everybody. My name is Vector. I'm the co-lead of the 2D art department, and I handle the textures and UI graphics for the game.
Hello. I'm Anya, known as Liska. I manage the concept art department.
Hey everybody, I'm Gamer Dash. I'm one of the designers.
Hello, I'm Kit. I am the other 2D department co-lead. I just basically make sure Vector does my job for me.
And I'm Justin, also known as Cerebrit. I'm the programming lead.
All right, so how many of you have already played Legends of Equestria or know what it is? Okay, like everyone. So, how many haven't? Okay, there's a couple, there's a few, there's a good amount. So, we're basically just a free-to-play 3D MMO where you can. We're still in development, still in pre-alpha, I guess. So, yeah. Okay, we're gonna go into the pony creator here and make a Pegasus. So we're gonna go through and you can adjust the different eyes, make your hair different colors, adjust the color of your body, change body size, wing size. So a lot of different customization options, and there'll be more later as we add more. Planning on adding a lot of hats.
So we've recently added support for up to 3 colors in your main. Isn't that exciting? We also plan on adding hooves later in the game, so you can add different colored hooves. We're not sure about that, you know, that's probably going to be later on. What else? We're hoping to have different eye types. Right now we just have Rarity and Rainbow Dash eye shapes. We might add Twilight Sparkle. Pinkie Pie actually has longer eyelashes than Rainbow Dash if you look closely at the show. Applejack has curved eyelashes and Rainbow Dash has straight eyelashes. Attention to detail. So Pegasi start off in the fabulous city of Cloudopolis. It's very beautiful. It's made of clouds and rainbows and smiles. That's a fabulous loading screen created by Kaiser and a 2D artist. The Rainbow Factory is planned. We do not have it in the... Oh.
Not the one you're thinking of.
No, not the one you're thinking about. No.
Yeah, actually...
I thought you were talking about the Weather Factory. We are planning on having the Weather Factory in the game, not Rainbow Factory.
Yeah, that's actually a good way of the way through development. We've got roughly 75% of that done, so that'll be in there in the near future.
Is it nighttime? Make it daytime, maybe.
Okay. Is it dark?
So that's nighttime. We can make it daytime right now so you can see a little bit better, maybe. Ta-da! It's very blue and white. So this is our 3rd city that we made, the 3rd and final major city. We've learned a lot since making this. First we've made Ponydale, then Cantermore, and then Cloudopolis. The whole terrain is actually just a giant model, modeled in Blender? Or no? Did Savannah make it in Maya? A 3D software. That's what it was made in.
Do a couple of variables. So yeah, we'll have aerial maneuvers and stuff like that in the game that you can do as a Pegasus. We don't have a backflip in there.
We
right
had
now.
it. It broke, but we'll fix it. That we're not gonna have, mainly because it's Rainbow Dash's thing, and we're not incorporating any show characters into the game. Yes, because they're trademarked. Yes.
Yeah. The other thing is, I mean, nobody before then had been able to do it. So if everyone could just go around doing that, that kind of makes it less cool.
The game will be completely for free. We're not gonna make any freemium features.
We're not.
We're gonna make it
selling-
fair for everyone.
Yeah. No sold items. None of that. So now we're gonna show you Cantermore. Justin's gonna pick a unicorn, which starts off in Cantermore. And as a unicorn, you can use various magic spells. There will be a lot of different, I guess, what do we call it? Talent marks. That's the name. Yeah, there'll be a lot of different talent marks that you can get, different fields you can go into. I think right now we have right, but I meant like which categories we're working on right now. Working on right now. I think we have magic, combat, flying, and a couple others that we're working on right now. Artisan and mining. So those will be in due time, hopefully pretty soon.
Justin's showing off teleporting here. Probably show off a few other skills that the unicorn currently has. Yes, a lovely flower bed.
So this is one of the larger cities that you can visit. Got large museums and art galleries and the castle, which Justin is running up to right now.
Takes a while because the map's so huge. So our plan is, when you start the game officially, you will start off as a filier colt. Each race will have its own school to start off into. As you go out throughout the game, you won't have your cutie mark, but you'll eventually start earning things to get a cutie mark in a certain field. So, unicorns have the School for Gifted Unicorns, which is a beautiful building. People in Ponydale have the Ponydale Schoolhouse, which you've probably seen in the show. Pegasi have the Flight Academy, and you will start off there. You'll have a teacher, and you'll get taught how to play the game, and go throughout your adventures in the world of Equestria.
Yeah, so basically as you go through the game, when you're doing your first quests as Billy and a Colt, you'll start doing different skill trees, which are our talent marks, to figure out what your pony's talent is. So there will be various quests that you can do that will like give you a feel for what that field is like. And if you follow them all the way to the end, then you can get your talent mark in that specific field. So that's the plan for, I guess, what you might call class choosing, but it's not really class choosing. So it's kind of a dynamic way of picking classes because you can like explore and test out the different fields as you're playing and get a feel for what you want to do, what your playstyle is.
You'll also have 3 character slots to choose from, so you can choose to play Earth Pony, Pegasus, and Unicorn if you choose to have those as your 3 characters. So you'll have further customization in the talent marks that you choose for each race. There are some class-specific cutie marks like farming and flying and weather, I think. So we're going to have a Q&A at the end of the panel, so you can ask your questions later. I'm sorry. Thank you. This is Ponydale. This is the first town that we've made, and I think we've remade it a few times, and we're going to remake it again. From all that we learned from the next 2 towns that we built, we've learned a lot.
Yeah, a lot of the layout of this initial town was just based off of the show, but we're going to be redesigning it so that it's a little more user-friendly and loads better, is optimized better. So right now it's actually probably one of the few towns that is actually lower optimization.
Yes,
even though it's
pretty
smaller.
badly optimized. It's very tiny, but it takes a while to load, and we really need to work on that. Are you gonna try to find the dragon?
Yeah, so we recently added some more dangerous enemy mobs into the game, and we're working on a full-blown combat system. We have a couple of skills in already, and health and magic.
Just so you know, that's not where the dragon lives. So.
Oh yeah, this is this is not where the dragon will be. Just in case you were wondering.
We were just having some fun with the last open server, and we decided to put a dragon in Ponydale.
It's mostly just for quick testing purposes, but yeah. So yeah, in the full game we plan to have lots of various small dungeon areas that you can visit. So this is just an example of this is just an example of one of those types of areas where you can explore, find gems, and fight monsters. So typical MMORPG type of fare. But yeah. So Justin right now is trying to find a couple of the monsters that we've added into the mines. Right there you can see what do we call those?
Lantern monsters and husky diamond dogs.
Yeah, lantern monsters. That's the tentative name. I think we're gonna name it something a bit more interesting later. So as you can see, we have fainting in the game.
Everything faints, nothing dies. Keep it positive.
So we also have various quest lines in the game that you'll get by talking to different NPCs that you find throughout the world. Justin's going to canter more to talk to one of them right now and show off our quest system, as well as the dialogue system, which is a bit different than other typical MMOs. Most MMOs will have a character that stands in a field, just sort of gives you, fetch this, get this for me, come back to me and I'll give you a reward. And we wanted something a little more dynamic and interesting. Show focus on characters a lot, so what we tried to do was put that sort of emphasis into the game. So here you can see our dialogue system. We have character portraits for the main characters and a what would you call that?
We have an expression tree, so they'll change their expression based on what choices you pick.
Yeah.
As you can see, she's clearly a bit frustrated now.
But yeah, we actually plan on adding voice acting to each of these as well. So not all the lines will be fully voice acted, but we'll have enough to go with the expressions. So I don't know if any of you played Fire Emblem Awakening. It'll be kind of like that sort of a dialogue system. Click through it, click through it. Yeah, our hope is that you'll actually get a bit more engaged in these quests than a typical MMO, because most MMOs will, they'll just set up a list of requirements and a reward, and that is kind of, it defeats the purpose of a quest actually having a story, because people will just click through it, give me the stuff, give me the stuff, give me the stuff. So we're not going to actually display what you'll get for completing each quest before you complete it, so that you'll be more interested in the actual story that's going on and be rewarded by completing it as well as experiencing the quest. So that's just one of the ways that we've tried to change things up. So Justin is now going to Sweet Apple Acres to talk to Spud for the rest of this quest. We're going to have a couple of other side areas in the game. Right now we're working on a larger transitional map area which will connect all three of the main cities and probably have a lot of small things for you to do, lots of smaller original areas that we've created on our own. It's a large process though. The map is actually humongous. It's like probably the biggest map we've ever designed, ever. It's like 5 times the size of
Our goal is a third of it right now, and we're not even sure when that's going to get done. Quest just told him to go to the Paso Fino Cafe in Cantermore to talk to Flan, the prettiest NPC in the game. My opinion.
So we're going to switch to Everfree now, just to show you some of the combat a little more, and we're Evershade Forest. Just to show off a little bit more of the combat and some of the more dangerous areas that you can explore. Transitional map will have more areas like this. but is that showing up okay on there? Everyone can see? Is it okay? Can you turn up like the contrast?
Sorry guys, Everfree's a bit dark because it's Everfree. Evershade Forest, I mean.
Can they dim lights?
Can you guys maybe, I don't know if the lights over there can be
Turning off the lights might be helpful. As far as the compass goes, that's actually a funny thing we just leave in Everfree because it's supposed to be confusing and scary and dark.
So yeah, the map will be basically useless while you're in Evershade Forest. It's intentionally confusing, and we've also reused a lot of assets in a lot of different areas so that you might get confused and lost. So
There actually are markers to help you get back out, though. They're kind of tricky, though.
yeah, you have to understand what they mean. So yeah, right now we're working on adding in a full combat system. Right now we have the basics in. It'll be a bit more fleshed out, I think, by the next open server.
Yeah, it's kind of clunky right now, but we'll make it better.
We have most of the stuff in place. The design work's done. It just needs
General
to be...
guidelines fulfilled.
And there'll be little NPC areas too in these dangerous areas, so you can rest and pick up more quests and things. These are a couple of our original enemy, I guess, designs. I guess they're not really enemies because they're not too dangerous, but I guess...
They're a timid creature. They don't attack you unless you attack them.
But yeah, we've got a lot of different creatures like that we've been developing over the last couple of months to a year.
Yeah, we're planning on having a lot more creatures. We actually have several modeled and animations are getting done.
Justin, how could you? But yeah, we're working on a lot of creatures. We're actually also planning on having a pet system eventually. And Earth ponies will actually get a bonus using pets. They'll have more options that they can do.
So while trying to balance out the three races, we kind of figured who would want to be an Earth pony when you can fly or do magic. So we're trying to give them more perks, like they can have more pets, the pets can help them more in combat, they can run faster, etc., etc. So it's not totally lame to be an Earth pony.
We're still working on the balancing too, so as time goes on, we'll probably add more things as well, just to to balance things a little more with those overpowered flying and magic things. There's also some nerfs to the flying and magic that we're planning that will make it a little less overpowered. Say again? Well, right now everything attacks in groups, I suppose.
If you aggro an enemy, it'll go after you, and if there's multiple enemies there, they'll all aggro you.
Yeah, so you really don't want to go into the Everfree Forest or the Evershade Forest and attack a herd of timber wolves, because you'll pretty much faint right away.
Yeah, it's a pack.
A pack of That's right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Nice, nice. So Justin's gonna keep playing for a little bit, just sort of walking around, and we're gonna talk about the development side of things.
So this is a project that's pretty much international. We talk on Skype and Trello and various other online methods of communication. We have a team of, I think, over 50 people from anywhere. We have people in Australia, Russia, America, everywhere. So it's kind of difficult sometimes because, you gotta make sure everyone's time zones line up for meetings and everything. The way we recruit people is we just have posts. We try and post on Equestria Daily and other various pony news sites that say we're recruiting. Several departments like concept art are actually recruiting on a rolling basis. So if anyone's actually interested in concept art, you can send me an email at any time and I'll look through your work. Various other departments like 2D?
Yep, 2D and I believe
3D?
3D also are also on a rolling basis. So if anyone is interested in applying, you can go to our website at legendsofequestria.com.
We have a contact page where you can email each of us individually for whatever department you're interested in. So everything goes through a workflow in our game. It starts off with design, who would design something. This might get passed on to writing or concept art depending on what we're designing. If we're designing a map and we need buildings for it, it'll probably go on to CA, concept art, and then 3D, and then 2D for textures. If not, if it's something like writing documents, maybe it'll pass on to writing, which can write things about the quests, make systems for it, so everything's in game.
Yeah, typically we'll have design write up various documents for systems and maps. We actually have a map making group where we just spend all this time working on brand new maps. After making a whole map design, then we have to lay out which buildings need to be made, where they need to be placed, and then that gets passed on to concept art to plan out the various buildings that need to be put into that area. And then after that stage, it gets sent off to 3D to do all the modeling, and then we texture it.
There's also design and programming, which is just a back and forth of, I need more variables. Okay.
Regarding my work with the writing team, I suppose I could...
Yeah.
There's a little bit of an interesting thing we have set up. So the writers had a they wanted to be able to basically write scripts on Google Docs. They use it all the time. We basically set up a system that allows them to write scripts. It's a very simple scripting language. And our servers basically read from Google Docs. So the writers can they can collaboratively edit Google Docs online and do their work together, and then the servers just need to be restarted, and then they get their changes in the game. So, I don't know, it's an interesting system that we have.
So yeah, should we open up to Q&A?
All right, so I think we can now open up to Q&A. Let's try and think of a logical way to do this. We have a microphone up here. We're not sure if it's working or not.
It's working. So what we're going to have you do is just line up in an orderly fashion to the microphone over on that side of the room. You can go around that way, and we'll take your questions one at a time.
So, yeah, you can also raise your hand, I guess, if you're lazy, but it's going to be really weird calling, because we'll be like, that guy in the shirt, and it'll be anyone.
If you want to raise your hand, then hold up something.
Something unique so we can call on whatever you're holding up.
Come on. So we'll also call here first. Okay.
All right, go ahead.
I've heard a lot of bits and pieces of rumors.
Could you step a little closer to the mic? Sorry.
I've heard some rumors about there being other things in the Evershare Forest, the mirror pool, and some kind of shrine area. Can you say anything about that?
Wait, what do you say? A shrine?
I don't know. It was kind of odd. There was this. There were kind of like these arched stones with rune engravings on them, and there was a fire pit, and it looked somewhat significant, as like maybe a ritual area or something.
He's talking about the
Tartaros?
Yeah, I don't think those rumors are 100% true.
Yeah.
But, I mean...
There's like a model, I think.
I've seen people on the site, they posted pictures of it before.
What does it look like?
It's kind of a half moon shape with arched stone, with curved stones that go up and they're pointed at the top. They got,
It's its own room, basically.
okay.
Yeah, we're not going to have that.
Oh.
It was something that one of our 3D modelers made very early in development, kind of for fun. There are actually quite a lot of things that were made just for fun that really didn't go through the design stage. So it's sort of unapproved stuff that really won't be in the game in the end.
Before I go, could you confirm that whether there is or there isn't the mirror pool?
There isn't at the moment. I don't know if we'll be making it, but it's not there right now.
Thank you.
It might be something that looks like it. I don't know.
Hey, Rue. I had a question regarding Unicorn Magic. Just curious if you guys are going to be using levitation in combat, and if not, what are going to be the functions for levitation, if you can say?
Levitation as in like levitating enemies?
I don't know, be creative.
I don't think we'll be doing that. Right now, it's kind of technically a bit difficult to add in levitation of like boxes and other objects in terms of magic stuff, simply because we're an MMO and that takes a lot of strain on the servers. So if everyone is levitating stuff, then it'd be like you can't move. So I don't think we'll have that in combat, but I don't know. Right now, it's probably not going to play a huge part.
All right. Also, do you sign jugs?
Sure.
Yes.
Just come later.
Okay, before the
we can
next
do that
question,
after the Q&A.
before your question, is anybody in the first two rows? If you have a question, go ahead, raise your hand. We'll take those. Yes. Over there with.
So some of the main problems have to do with the physics. The server doesn't really have an extensive physics system. It's mostly stuff like that's mostly on the client. And like Vector was saying, that does cause problems with networking. It's a lot of bandwidth to do that. We might have some things that are basically pre-baked animations or something like that. Like there's a spell that causes something to levitate, but it won't be where you'll be able to have full control over it. Just because of the bandwidth required.
Oh, like faraway grab? Well, right now, you can kind of already do that just by clicking on an item from far away. So...
that might be possible. Some spell to pick up an item further away. Yeah, that might be possible. Other things are kind of unrelated to that. When we have pets, one of the plans is also maybe have pets gather items for you as well. So.
Yes, your question right here.
You can jump. So you can jump while you walk.
You mean the hopping? No, but we should.
It's a little awkward right now. We need to improve the animation on it. But yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Will there be like dungeon bosses at the end of the dungeons, or like a world boss, or group dungeons?
Well, you did see the dragon, which is intended to be somewhat of a boss type of an enemy. So yeah, there will be bosses. I don't know if we're gonna put them always at the end of every dungeon type area, but
The dragon and other major enemies will definitely take a group of ponies, a group of players to bring down. Not how we have it in the game currently.
Oh, okay.
Eventually, it will take more. We're gonna. Did you have another question? Okay. Do you want to go through the questions that we get most frequently?
yeah.
Frequently asked questions. We'll just go through those real quick.
Justin, do you want to go to the frequent? So on our website, legendsofequestria.com, we have a page called FAQ, which stands for Frequently Asked Questions. Hopefully, we can answer some of them right now.
Because we get asked these a lot, even though we have that there through email, even.
All right. So when will the game be released? As it says here, as a team of volunteers, quite difficult for us to establish a permanent release date. We are working hard to finish the game as quickly as we can without letting it decline in quality. However, an ETA will not be provided upon request. What races will be playable in the game? You'll be able to play as an Earth Pony, a Unicorn, or a Pegasus. Will the game be free to play? The game will always be free to play. Will I be able to customize my own pony? Yes, characters will have many customizable features, such as mane and tail styles and colors, race, gender, color, eye color, accessories, and cutie marks. Can I upload my own cutie mark? No, that requires a large amount of moderation, and it also requires a lot of bandwidth for the server if it has to be transferring cutie marks for other players. There is a large number of cutie marks that you can choose from, though, and I believe we will have a layering system, so you'll be able to layer up to 3 cutie marks and position them a little bit. Does that mean I don't get to earn my cutie marks? No. Players will begin the game as fillies and colts and be able to earn a specific type of cutie mark, which they will then be able to customize before transitioning into adulthood. Types of cutie marks will be in the game. We do not wish to disclose the full list at this time, but just know that it's very comprehensive. Can you have a pet? Yes. What kinds of accessories will be in the game? We'll feature a large selection of accessories, including many varieties of hats, socks, shoes, jewelry, saddles, armor, and much more. What steps are being taken to ensure the game is appropriate for children? We'll have an extensive word filter within the game, along with a dedicated team of skilled moderators constantly keeping guard to ensure that all parts of our game maintain a child-friendly atmosphere. Will be combat in the game? There'll be a combat system, but it will not contain any gratuitous violence, which would make it inappropriate for minors. What kinds of weapons will be in the game? This will be announced more in depth at a later date. We can, however, confirm the presence of apples, cakes, pies, and horseshoes as well. Will the game feature voice chat? The load on the servers will be too high. If you want to use voice chat, we recommend using an external program such as Skype Controller or TeamSpeak. What can I do to help this project? As we were saying, some departments do rolling basis. You can contact that site or watch. Also, word of mouth is very important, so we encourage you to plaster links to the site everywhere. Will the game feature voice acting? We have many voice actors on staff. We're pushing as hard as we can to have as many characters voiced as possible. However, sound files can add up quickly and could possibly be a limiter to what we are able to voice, so we do not wish to guarantee the full voice acting at this time. We're using Unity as a game engine. How much are we willing to disclose about the storyline? Our writers are working hard to put together a story that will emphasize every element we are implementing into the game, and it is coming along very nicely. We will feature a colorful cast of characters that are far more developed than those in a typical MMO. Can I have my own house? No, we cannot do customizable player houses. And again, how do I join the team? This is wrong, it needs to be updated, but some departments are on a rolling basis, as well as we do put out posts about when we're hiring.
Thank you. So now we can go back to answering your questions.
Can players send other players on a quest for like themselves?
A friend request or?
Like a game. Well, yeah, not like a friend quest, like a quest.
Oh.
Like a quest. Could I send another player on a quest to get something that I want them to do?
That's
do you mean
that's
like
a very interesting idea, but
a quest asks you for a pie and you ask another player to get you the pie? Because you could do
No,
that.
I mean, I ask someone to get me something specifically, not like an NPC quest.
yeah, currently we don't have a system in place for that. But it's a very interesting idea. We might end up doing something like that.
Yeah, maybe we never thought of that.
Kind of interesting. Player-to-player quest.
Yeah, you can ask another player to go do something for you, but there's no guarantee of rewards or anything. At that point, it's just, hey, go do this.
Oh, that's true.
We have a chat system, so there you go.
Thanks.
I have 2 questions. Will there be customizations like for the character to have like stripes or patterns?
Currently we don't have that planned.
Yeah, we don't have that planned currently. The way we are planning on doing hooves is unwrapping the model, I think. So there might be a possibility of being able to do stripes on your character and stuff like that. It could be a possibility, yes.
And my second question is, why is it that some people can play the game and some people can't?
Currently, the way things are set up, and I think a lot of people get confused about this, is we have various open server weekends where we'll open the servers to everyone to play. So during that time, a lot of people record videos and take pictures and share them. So that leads people to think that the servers are open all the time, but they're not. They're only open during those events. So we'll keep those open just during that time, and we have demos for the game at places like this. But yeah, so a lot of people get confused about that, I think.
So our game is pre-alpha. Right now, the only people who always have access to the game are team members who actually work on the game. We're available at cons, so you can actually play the game at this con in the game room, Mercer. So that's available for only this convention, and yeah, like he said, we sometimes have open servers where everyone can play. You just need to log on our website and find out when the open server is.
It's actually, the next one I believe is August 10th.
Yeah, I believe it's August 10th, and you can find that out on our website.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was wondering about the Linux build, if there's any information about that. And
we can build Windows, Mac, and Linux, and they should all work.
So there will be a Linux build?
Yes, we always have Mac, Linux, and Windows builds on open servers.
We had a Linux build last open server weekend.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're planning on making them for all platforms. So.
Okay, cool.
All right, I have a couple different questions. The first is a general development question. What goes into concept art specifically?
Well, we usually get either a short description from the design team or a writer, and from that we just work on what we're given. We'll usually go through me, and maybe I'll ask Savannah. Well, he's the design lead. It's a process like we get the description, we draw something, we ask them, is this what you wanted, or is this close to what you wanted? We'll get some feedback, and we'll keep kind of going like that until we get something that we both consider is good for the game. So, does that answer your question?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
All right, thank you. And my second question is, I noticed that, obviously, the physics aren't, completely done yet. I was wondering if you would add, any more, thinking how to phrase this, detailed mechanics to the game, just to make it a little more, immersive.
What do you mean by detailed mechanics?
Like, say, like extra graphics or, some kind of maybe soft material type.
Oh, like physics materials on cloth and stuff like that. I believe we were planning on having stuff like that for the flags on some of the buildings.
Yeah, we'd make like flags that would wave. That's still in planning, but it's such a minor feature that we're not really focusing on it yet.
Yeah, we're trying mostly to finish the main gameplay of the game.
Yeah.
So that's mostly polished stuff, and that'll come in time.
Thank you.
Hello, so me and my friends managed to find the Pac-Man minigame, and And I was wondering if you planned on adding anything more like that, or if it's one of those leftover features that...
Yeah, I think we're actually planning on adding more minigames like that, but as just like the physics system is kind of a minor thing, trying to work on...
I know in design we've talked a little bit about doing some more minigame stuff. It comes down to every time we want to do a minigame, that's going to add a lot of dev time. So we try to work minigames where we can without putting a huge amount of overhead to it. So yeah, there will be some more interesting minigames, but right now they're all still kind of in the development phase, like their design phase of how we're going to make it work with what we've got.
I do have one more question involving just general exploration. So I know that some ponies can get to the Everfree Castle by glitching around the canyon side. And I was wondering how much you guys are going to allow free exploration, because I know Earth ponies can't get to it because of an invisible wall.
Yeah, I'm not even sure why that's blocked off. I think it's because it's unfinished, so we didn't want people to get to it yet. So
Yeah, you're not technically supposed to be able to get there.
yeah, that was accidental.
We're gonna try and be as open as possible in terms of like invisible walls. But given the fact that you can fly anywhere, it's kind of hard to make every invisible wall make sense. Like in a lot of games, they'll just have a tree line or something like that so that you don't go, what is this invisible wall? I don't understand. But it's a lot harder with our game considering that you can just fly to block characters off from areas that are not finished or even part of the level. So you're gonna experience that occasionally where there are some invisible walls, but we're gonna try as hard as we can to make those not noticeable.
Yeah, we're definitely doing that. We are trying to make it where, like, don't hit very many invisible walls, but we're also, every time we look at designing something, we consider all three races. So how will Pegasi handle this? How will Earth Ponies handle this? Unicorns? So try to give where it doesn't ever feel like someone has like an unfair advantage. So that's something we are constantly thinking about.
All right, it's kind of a unique design thing from games, because most games don't have to think about that, They're either all in the air or all on the ground, so it's one or the other.
Thank you.
Go ahead with your question.
Like lava or something?
Yeah, there are definitely going to be areas that are dangerous to enter. Yeah.
Yeah, right now you also don't have fall damage, and I think we're going to be adding that for really significant falls and stuff.
Such a jumping off kid.
Hi. So I played one of the former open server days. Looking forward to the one in August. I was hoping you could tell us any new features or anything we might be seeing.
Yeah.
We got some plans.
We're planning. Hopefully, we'll have the transition map done by then.
Hopefully, that's a big hope.
Yeah.
I was thinking more of the pet system.
We're probably going to have the experience system in there, some sort of leveling system that you can sort of play around with. Maybe some, I don't know if we're going to have pets or not, but...
We might have some basic pet system in as well.
We got some models already, so...
Awesome. Thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
So there's two things. The first is a small request. Can we see a cycle of all the emotes that are currently available?
Yeah, sure. So Justin can do that.
We have sit. We have face hoof. We have dance. We have lie down, which is slightly different, that's it. And we have applaud. And wave. Hooray!
Oh, nice. Right, and the second one is, you had sort of implied that there would be some sort of trading system way to get items from other players.
It's actually in there right now.
Yeah, you could trade with other players. It's kind of a little bit weird because you can't separate items, so you're just going to give everyone everything if you trade. But we do have a rudimentary trading system.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Hi, I was just wondering about how you guys run the servers, like where that's done, how that's done, and if it's done externally, how are you guys paying for that?
We do host externally. We use a couple different VPSs to do hosting. Some of you might notice that there are ads on our site, and those are what help pay for the server hosting.
Okay, and then also, is there going to be a max number of characters you can have for the game?
3, yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hey, I had a few questions related to lighting. And currently the game is basically all full lit and almost no shadows. I was curious, is that staying like that?
Shadows are a Unity Pro feature. So right now we're using Unity Free, so we can't really use dynamic shadows, but
as far as either full lit or full dark, we actually do have a full system where you'll see sunset colors. There's actually a really cool GIF out there somewhere where someone just took a screenshot for every time of the day, and it shows the whole like daytime, sunset, and then dawn.
We have a couple of interesting. Oh, there you go. Well, there you go.
And then the other part of that is will there be lighting improvements, as in with the subdued colors of the maps during dusk? It is pretty much impossible to navigate. Everything just looks like a bleary gray blank.
Yeah, that's going to be improved. Right now, it's obviously you can't see very well. So that's going to be adjusted as we go on. There will be various improvements as we go on. So
awesome. Thanks.
Thank you.
Hey, a couple of things. One, how do I word this? What kinds of additional spells are you thinking of putting in with the unicorn, particularly when it comes to combat? Because if I recall correctly from when I played beta, like the only attack you have like a stomp, which is not magic.
I think recently we've added a magical arrow for unicorns, and we are planning on adding more unicorn attacks. So it's not just going to be heals and stuff.
Yeah, the unicorn currently has a heal, a magical arrow thing.
The flowers also attack.
That's an AoE attack. Yeah.
It's definitely being looked at and fleshed out.
It's that right there. That's
Okay, good. And the other thing is, do you intend to make it able to go inside the Castle of Two Sisters? Which specifically why I asked is when I played the beta, I decided to go as far deep into Everfree or Evershade as possible, and got as far as like the bridge to Two Sisters, but got invisible wall at the entrance. So do you intend to go have us be able to go in there?
Yeah, so the reason for that is because the model isn't done. It's an old model. So we just wanted to have it off in the distance, and there were some bugs that let you go in there. But maybe when we have a more complete model, we'll definitely remove that invisible barrier and you can walk around in there.
Sweet.
Thank you.
What has been the hardest feature to implement so far?
Skills are the skill system probably. Just due to the amount of expressiveness the designers want on some things. And it's hard coming up with a system where we can allow them to do that and still make it somewhat understandable for them to use in the first place without straight up having them to be programmers.
Thank you.
What is your question here, number 8?
We probably won't be adding Pinky's Party Cannon. We might add a cannon, but I don't know.
Yeah, no trademark things.
Yeah.
We will definitely have goofy things, though. Goofy items that do goofy actions that have an actual impact on mobs. Yeah, but not necessarily her specific item. And as far as the moon goes, we're still working on skyboxes. Right now, we really only have the 2 that we've done, and those are sort of a compilation of artwork that's been done by multiple artists. At some point, we will focus on making unique skyboxes for different areas, and Nightmare Moon I can't guarantee it, but it might show up in one of those skyboxes.
All right, well, I have 2 questions. Recently, actually like about a year ago, I saw, I believe on the Legends of Equestria site that you could use pastries like pies and cupcakes and things like that as weapons in combat.
Yes, that's the plan. We don't have it yet, but we're hoping to have it because, again, we're going to have like child-friendly combat. We're not going to have real swords and stuff like that, so we're going to have cartoonish fighting.
Oh, and my other question is, will there be vehicular trains?
Yes, there will be lots and lots of trains.
I have 2 questions. They might have been answered already because I just came in here, but will I be able to expect guilds and /or PvP?
Our guilds are going to be called herds, so yes, you will experience that. You will be in your pony herd. PvP, I don't think we're planning on. We're not planning on PvP. We might have a duel system where you can duel one person, but again, that's kind of iffy.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, my question is there going to be like racial specific areas and or combat? Like for a group of Pegasus, they take on an aerial enemy. There's some sort of magical enemy for unicorns to take on and such like that.
There might be something like that. I know we have flying enemies, but I believe the plan is to have everyone be able to attack.
Yeah, so the plan is to be fair to all the races, I think.
Yeah, in the area of like racial specific areas, we have the towns which are more centralized to a specific race, but anyone can go there. As for enemies, yeah, if one person can fight them, everyone should be able to
So
fight
there's not going to be like racial specific dungeons or something?
There's no plan for that now.
Thank you.
Hello, me again. So your little friend there reminded me of something in the last open weekend, and do you plan on implementing cooldowns? Because having 50 people teleport constantly causes a lot of clutter on the screen.
Definitely plan on having cooldowns. We actually do have cooldowns for some of the skills. They just don't show up yet.
Yeah,
there's not the element yet to
There's
make
no
it show up.
display that you're using that there's a current cooldown.
But yeah, we're
so-
definitely going to have cooldowns. Also, teleporting takes up your mana, and mana slowly regenerates, so you won't be able to teleport as much once you've teleported a few times.
All right. Thank you again.
Yeah. Okay, so if no one has any other questions, let's see, we got like, what, an hour?
We got a half hour.
Question. I'm not sure about the next open server per se, but I know we're going to definitely have it fixed by the final game where you'll actually see how far you can teleport and it won't be a ridiculous amount.
Yeah, actually, the teleport feature will increase range and like cost less mana and stuff like that as you level it up. So, much like some of the other skills would do more damage and etc. etc. I don't know if we'll have the in by next open server because I know we're planning on putting in experience and leveling system, I think. But maybe we'll see. We'll have to see how things turn out.
Okay, does anyone else have any other questions? Yes, you. Yeah, well, first things first, there have been some rumors that we got a CND, and I could say that we've never ever gotten a CND for this project. We're taking a lot of steps to reduce the chances of getting a CND. For instance, we do not have any show characters, and we do not plan on having any show characters.
Yeah, that was a while back.
Yes, it was probably a while back when we were Equestria Online. We're also obviously removing cutie marks because that's been trademarked. We're changing it to talent marks, etc. All the town names have been changed, and anything else that's being trademarked will be changed. if in the event that we do get a CND, that does not mean the game is over. We will just comply to the CND and continue making the game. Does that answer your question? Thank you.
Yeah, actually, the leveling system is similar in a way to the way Skyrim and Oblivion are played, in that the more you use skill, the more that line gets leveled up. So, depending upon what you focus on, that is going to get stronger, that specific line. But you'll actually, the one you choose as your talent mark will have the highest possible level unlocked. All the other ones, there'll be like a cap that is a little lower than the max level. So if you focus on the one you have your mark in, you can actually be much better than other players at max level that have different talent marks. So.
All right, if there's no more questions, I'd like to remind you guys that if you do want to play the game, we're going to let everyone play after this panel in the game room, which I think is Mercer A and B. Yeah, Mercer A. So we'll have 4 laptops available to play. Each person will get about 20 minutes to play, and then we'll switch off. And you can keep coming to play after your 20 minutes if you want. So I guess for the next, to waste some time, we'll talk about why and how each of us got onto the project. Do you want to start over there?
Sure, I'll start. So I'm a graphic designer, do digital art, and around the time the first season was showing, I started posting my artwork on DeviantArt, and all of these cartoon ponies were so incredibly popular at that time, and I was wondering, why My Little Pony? Because when I was a child, it was the first generation of My Little Pony, and other cartoons that were competing were like the original Transformers. So as a young boy, I was interested in Transformers and such, and the My Little Pony show back then, this was all the way back in the 80s, drove me crazy. So I was wondering, how could this possibly be popular with everyone? And so I just said, all right, I'll give it a shot. I'll watch the show. And I found it very appealing. To me, it's sort of the Tom and Jerry slapstick humor that drew me in. So with that, it just sort of naturally started sinking into my own artwork, and I decided, well, if I'm going to be doing my own vector artwork related to ponies, why don't I look for a better outlet for this? And that's when I came across this project and just started doing little assignments for the project with textures, menus, and such.
Yeah, no, I got involved with the project actually not too long ago. It's been about 2 months maybe or so. And I'd been following the project for a while. I was always impressed by it. I thought it was really cool. But my job, I actually worked as a developer at a company, so I wasn't able to take on side projects. Well, I got out of that particular scenario, so I was like, well, I can join up and see what I can do, see if they need help. I knew they were looking for designers, and reached out to Savannah, the design lead, and we talked for a bit, and they were like, okay, yeah, it'd be cool, pull you on. And after we spoke, I don't know, like 4 hours or something. Only an hour was about the game, the rest was about ponies, just at random. But that's pretty much how I got on. I just decided, you know, the open weekend, I think it was the last open weekend we did, was really cool. And I was like, yeah, I want to be part of this. So I just sent out an email because there was a website said, hey, we need people. And that's how I found it. So if you want in, that's the best way to do it.
So I'm Lisa. I joined the project several years ago, back when it was Equestria Online. When I was a little girl, my favorite thing was ponies. One day I stumbled upon an article on the internet that said Wizards of the Coast was going to make a pony MMO. I was so excited when I was such a little girl. I was just so excited to play a pony. Turns out it was an April Fool's joke. So I'm on this project to get my revenge on Wizards of the Coast. But I think I actually started watching My Little Pony episodes on YouTube, and I stumbled upon a Equestria Online video, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is my dream come true. So I went on their forums. I started doing what I do, posting art, and I think eventually I got on as a concept artist and stayed on long enough that I became leader. But I think that's about it. Just if anyone's interested, just submit some art and I'll look at it. And anyone can be part of this project. It's for fans, by fans. So yeah.
Yeah. So I actually found the project. I was working as a graphic artist on Nintendo forums for about 5 years, and I started noticing all of these people wearing pony icons as their avatars, and I was like, that's a cool character design. What is it? So I looked into the show and I was like, it was okay. Because I'd watched Over a Barrel, like just a couple of minutes, and I was like, I don't know, this is okay. Then later I was like, there's still people everywhere wearing these pony avatars. It's gotta be more interesting than just okay. There's gotta be something more to that. So I started from the beginning. I was like, crap, I'm gonna get addicted to this. And I did. So after that, I started making art for it, just like little fan art pieces. And I was like, I like this too much, so I gotta make art of it, I guess. So I started posting that on the forums that I went to, and there was actually a thread for Brony people, and one of the people posted something from Equestria online, which was what this project was at that time. And I figured, rather than just making fan art of Professor Layton crossovers, I should probably do something a little more productive. And I always liked game design, so I figured I would help out this project. And Kit was the design lead at the time, or not a design lead, the 2D lead at the time. And I ended up getting a lead position pretty quickly because I helped him out a whole bunch. So it's kind of what I'm doing now, just helping him out a whole bunch. So yeah.
No, it's been a while. I think I watched some video on YouTube and then watched the show. Not long after, I was looking around at some news sites, and I saw something for Equestria Online at the time, and I sometimes have a lot of free time, and I like programming, and so I requested to join the project and got on. It's been a while, and I just eventually ended up being the programming lead.
So, yeah, that's our stories.
So is there anything you would like to see us do on the game? We've got another roughly 20 minutes to
Yeah, if
spare.
there's anything you'd like to know or anything, yeah. Ooh, well, we actually did have an encounter with Flufflepuff during the last open server. We had Flufflepuff running around in his fluffy pony suit giving out Flufflepuff hats. I'm not sure if we're planning on having any more. If artists are interested, they could probably email us and maybe we could work something out. The other thing, though, is that we're trying to more so work on really big bugs and trying to finish the game. So things like that might end up more near the end when it's mostly more playtime and adding more fun stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that's more end of production polish. Right now, we're trying not to, have the game break on us.
I heard somebody say, show us a secret. Can you show them the secret room near the Kentermore waterfall? Do you know where that is?
The guy with the hat. I'm sorry, could you say that again? Oh, Griffins and Changelings.
There are planned to be griffins, I believe.
And there should be a Secret.
And there might be changelings.
Right now, if you have a really good imagination, they could all be changelings.
Yeah.
I believe one of
You
the
don't
story
know.
characters actually is supposed to be a changeling, but I don't know if they'll actually be modeled as a changeling.
Yeah,
They might be a changeling disguised as a pony. so-
Griffins might also be NPCs and enemies. We might have them as a dual purpose. So we might have those, yeah. Any other questions or requests? 7 hours? I think?
Yeah, a full day night cycle is 7 hours.
The reason for that is in a week there are 7 days, and if you divide that time up, if you go on a different day at the exact same time, it'll be a different time in Legends of Equestria. So then that way, if you happen to get home from work or whatever at the exact same time every day, you'll be able to experience the full day and night cycle throughout an entire week. So that's the reason for that.
Guy with the cute pony. What's our inspiration for developing the game?
We thought it was cool.
The ponies. Who doesn't love
Transformers,
ponies?
clearly.
Yeah, I mean, originally I was inspired by the show to just make the game, really. That and I like making games.
I think
so-
I think everyone has their own reason on the project. I think everyone's trying to get a different thing out of it. And I think that's what makes this project so great. Like for instance, me, I just want to make my dreams come true since I was a little girl. Fluttershy. Yeah, I think we do have plans to have bucking and maybe apple bucking. I guess it would matter of lining up. We do have a buck attack, I think. It's an earth pony attack, seismic buck.
I think she's asking specifically about...
Like bucking apples?
Well, for farming.
Will we have bucking apples?
Well, I would assume that might be something part of farming.
I think apple bucking would be not that hard to make for farming. Yeah, earth pony only maybe. Not sure. Any other questions? Questions or requests that we do? Again, you guys. Okay, hi. A protest? Oh, a princess.
We might have one, but it's not going to be the one you're thinking of if you're thinking of that one.
What?
Master Vague.
We might have a princess type character in the game.
We might.
But it's definitely not going to be Celestia or Luna. If we have one.
We also don't have an alicorn model or anything like that. So we can combine the
Pretty easy
horns
to
and the
make,
wings, but we don't have like a Luna or a Celestia model or stuff like that. So
Yeah.
there's no plans so far. I think like set in stone about a princess. I think.
That it's kind of a minor point, really.
Yeah. I think the storyline's more focused on this group of adventurers and friends who meet each other through coincidence instead of a princess. So
Yeah, actually, I think like the characters that you spend most of the game with, like the main story, are actually they grow up with you.
Yeah,
As you
so-
do your cutie mark quest lines and stuff. So, we figured that'd be more engaging than a typical. Oh, go to the princess, get a quest to save the kingdom and destroy all the people that are terrorizing the land.
So it's more about friendship and relationships. Yeah. Yeah. I think we're absolutely fine with anyone doing whatever they want.
What do you mean
this.
for other projects? What, repurposing footage for other projects? What do you mean?
I don't think we have any of it.
fine,
No problem
I
with that. I mean, we're fan made ourselves.
If you notice what I'm doing with the game right now.
Are you talking about like using like the videos from here for like a PMV or something? Things like that? Yeah, that'd be fine.
I think we'd absolutely be
with it.
fine with that.
Yeah, I have. There's a command you can use in the game. It's for cinematic camera, and you can disable the interface. So that you would be able to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, right now you can make the whole body smaller or bigger. As far as limbs,
I've been pestering some of the 3D modelers and also Justin to put in a nose, like muzzle adjustment thing for the stallions, because not all of them have the same muzzle shape. But I don't know if we'll get that. Maybe, Justin. Maybe.
Yeah, putting in, adjusting the limb length and making them skinner or wider makes a tremendous amount of work when it comes to accessories like clothing. So we're just really unlikely that we're going to expand to that degree of customization.
any other questions or requests for the game? Oh, we need a secret.
Yeah,
secret about the
Justin.
game or secret about ourselves? Secret about the game.
He's trying to find, there's a secret room hidden behind a waterfall in Cantermore.
I mean, we could talk about
Yes,
secret.
it is in Cantermore. I went there. There's cushions and a table, and it's a real cool party room. No, it's not. Oh yeah, we had a Tartarus, but we removed it because people were like, "Oh my gosh!"
So we had this place that you can go to. I think it was behind Rarity's boutique. It was just a portal that spawns you into this horrible realm called Tartarus.
It was just a joke.
Scary, dark, red, runes everywhere. If you were an Earth Pony, you get stuck and you'd have to get teleported out by a moderator. I think Kit decided, you know what, we're done with this, and he deleted it from the whole project, so no more of that. Oh, really? Oh, okay.
The entrance was hidden many different times, but yes, I hit the delete button.
So yeah, if you guys are interested in playing again, we're going to be in the electronic games room until 6 maybe. So you'll be available to play then.
Here's the secret room. We found it. Look at that party. They've been reading books. Lots of books. It's like the study session for all the bad students. And got a well and everything. Cool secret, huh?
Guy with the Twilight Sparkle. Well, oh, the crystal caves underneath Cantermore?
Maybe?
We actually do have some crystal enemies. We have a crystal centipede and a crystal golem. So I think we might have some sort of crystal caverns. It'd be really cool and pretty to have, and probably that's simple to make. It's low poly. I mean, it's crystals.
It was a part of the design, but it just got dropped down lower in priority.
Yeah, there's the transition map that took higher priority.
We're trying to get the basics done first, but that is definitely one of the planned things.
Yeah, it might be something interesting to do. Anyone else? Anything else?
Anyone.
We could just start the game room session early.
I guess.
Next time we'll get less time, I think.
So who would like to meet us in the game room?
Wait, is that guy who wanted us to sign his chocolate jug?
Oh yeah.
Let's sign your
We'll
jug.
sign this, and then we're going to start setting up in the game room.
Yeah.
Do you have a marker? A marker for that?
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.